Welcome to Alaskan Freedom.
We got a package and we know who it's from and what it is already. It's from Jordan over at Alaska's Mac.
No, it's Alaska Smack.
That's what I said. Alaska's Mac.
Alaska Smack, like smack.
Yes, Alaska Smack.
Isn't that what I said? Alaska's Mac.
Okay, whatever.
We wanted a cool hat like he wears, so he sent us a hat. So
That's exciting.
yeah. He sent us two actually. We each get one. So we know what's in here. We're already excited about it. We can't wait to open it. And this package may look kind of boring to you, and there's a reason why.
Alaska is just a regular state. So we do have a local post office.
But if you're mailing a package within Alaska, we have a unique system here that you may not be aware of. So if you're mailing a package anywhere within the state, we have a system. So rather than explain it to you, I'll kind of show you how that works.
Well, if the tide's right, they'll be getting this in about a week.
It's a package for us.
Oh, wow.
All right. It's cold. Let's go home and open it.
Do it. That's basically it. It just flows with the tide.
Luckily, we don't live in interior Alaska. That involves a moose and a rope, and it's much harder to do. Here we go.
Wow.
Hats.
Alaska Smack.
For those of you that don't know, Jordan has a small channel on YouTube. Check it out. It will put a description in the link. It's actually one of my favorite channels, even though it's a very small channel right now. His content's super cool because Jordan is a true Alaskan. I think he's lived here his whole life. He can confirm that with you. But he has videos on like peeling logs and building log cabins from scratch. He's got some cool stuff, so check it out. But we want to thank Jordan for the hats.
Thanks, Jordan.
I feel like a real Alaskan now that I have one of these hats. Okay, so let's go outside and show you what we did this week. In 2023, we moved to Alaska to fulfill our dream of a better quality of life. Follow along as we transform our few acres of Alaskan off-grid virgin land into our dream homestead.
We are Jay and Elaine, and this is Alaskan Freedom.
When we did all of our wood splitting, we ended up with, I'm gonna say that's about a half a cord over there, either rotten wood or moldy wood. Now we'll just burn that up. We just don't wanna burn it inside. But the main project we're doing now is we're starting on this little shed extension here. I left these two beams that are supporting the shed. I ran them long and left them because I knew I was gonna do something out here. So what we are gonna do is have an extension that comes off of here with a small lean-to roof that comes this way off of here. It'll have 3 compartments. One on this side will be full height. That'll keep my ladders, the rakes, the shovels, the outdoor yard work tools, stuff like that. And then on the other side, 2 compartments. One will be on top. That'll be for pruners, stuff like that. Again, just yard tools, outdoor stuff. And then on the bottom compartment, it's gonna be set up for our generator. Our solar does not give us near the power we need in the winter, obviously. We don't get a lot of light. And the way our solar panels face and with the trees, the light we do have, the few hours of it, it's not hitting our panels anyway. So the only thing we're getting is a little bit of indirect light. So we have to run our generator about 3 hours every day now. Last winter, what we did is I would just let it sit outside and run on the ground. On days when it's super cold or raining or snowing, the generator would always keep dying on us whenever it got too cold or too wet. We would put it inside the shed and have the door cracked open so that the exhaust was right at the door pointing out and it was just in the shed running. So it was staying at least dry and somewhat warm and we could still run our generator. That's not going to be an option now because now we have completely insulated and heated the shed. So I'm not going to leave that door wide open while the generator runs on bad days. So what we're going to do is make a little separate area here to put that generator in, and then make sure that that's exhausted well. This is not going to be sealed anyways. It's going to have lots of ventilation through it. The first thing we're going to do is just build the framing of the floor. I mean, this is it's just an outdoor storage area that's still vented to outside. So we are still going to put some house wrap on it, OSB it, and then later when we side the shed, we'll side it together with that, which is going to be next summer. We figure out, we're making this up as we go, by the way. I don't have plans for this. So the next thing we're going to do is just build our 2 little rake walls on the side. So now, once again, I have pre-cut everything. Next thing I'm going to do is cut a ledger board that will run across here. So it needs to be 82 inches in length, but what I'm going to do is notch the top of it at 15 degrees so that it is following this. It started raining and then rained all day, so I didn't get back out here. Now it's the next day, so we're going to keep going on this. And I do have it cut, as you can see here, at an angle. But I have the top of this board cut at a 15-degree angle, which is what these walls are at. And then we'll build this front wall also at 15 degrees. So the boards that sit on top don't have to be notched. Generally, when I do a project, I will leave the walls the rafters are on flat and notch them. The reason I'm not doing that on this is because these top boards are just going to be a 2x4. This roof is basically nothing. It's only going to be a few feet long, and we're going to build it so I don't have to notch the 2x4 because the 2x4 is already thin enough. I don't want to start notching into it. So. I would say the next thing to do is to build this front wall, but before I do that, I'm actually going to, it'll be a lot easier now just to get this thing covered. The area that's going to be inside of this storage, which is everything under here now, we're just going to throw some leftover OSB and plywood that I have laying around, scraps, and just piece it all in and get rid of some scraps so I don't have to buy anything new. I've got a lot of OSB scraps laying around from projects we've been working on the last year. It's going to save me a couple sheets of plywood, so it'll save me, with plywood costs right now, about 50 bucks. I ripped down one more for the top plate so that when it is sitting on the face of this, that angle's up and down. So the generator will sit right here. There'll be a door on this side that kind of opens up for the exhaust to come out. This area here, I want to make sure is big enough that I can open that, get in with my small gas can, and still fill with gas. So, probably put that door about that tall right there. Nail everything right into place this way. Just now realizing I should have finished off the roof before I put this in. It just would have been easier to maneuver around, but it's too late now, so we'll just have to work around it. I'm gonna cut all the pieces for this roof, and once I have it cut back, we'll come back and assemble it. So I have I have still one full sheet left from when I roofed the shed in the cabin. And they're 10-foot sheets, so I can take that sheet and cut it into 3 pieces, which would give me 3 40-inch pieces. And now right now this is 39.5, so that'll give me just a little 1/2 inch of overhang from the roof sheet to the drip edge, which is, I want about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch. So yeah, I can just cut that sheet right into 1/3 and just use those 3 pieces for this. Yeah, you're not supposed to really cut metal sheets with a blade or with a saw. The saw blade ruins the integrity of the sheet as far as rust proofing it, and it can start to rust over time, but I'm going to do it anyway because I don't have any nibblers and I don't feel like using tin snips. It's raining now, so you stay over there under the shelter. I hope it's not going to be another year like last year. Last year just rained all winter. We hardly got any snow. I like the snow. Now we're sheeting this thing. We're only running the sheets to the bottom of the new stuff we're doing. We're not running it down onto the beams. To hold our sheets up and nail them all at once, first we're going to put a couple of 10D nails, just partially driven into here, and then that sheet will rest right on there. And I have not cut the hole yet for this, so this is not a holey sheet. Pull these nails out now. I'm going to nail this off later. I'm going to get all the pieces hung and then I'll come around and nail it off good. For now, I just got 4 nails in there holding it. We'll organize those a lot better later, but for now I just wanted to throw them in there so that if it does start snowing, now they're already out of the snow. The only thing really left to do is put some Tyvek on this and build the doors. But it's laundry day and we are going to have lunch quick and then we're going to run to town and do laundry. So I'm done working on this for today. I'll come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be pretty nice out actually. Temperature wise, I don't know, but it's supposed to be sunny, so I should be able to get the rest of this work done quick. We also, when we're going to do laundry, got to run by and drop off some donations. In one of our last videos, we had many people ask what we do for a living. And I mean, we don't hide it, but we don't talk about it a lot. So I'll show you. One of the things we do is we do own a woodworking company, and we custom make woodworking projects. We only sell locally, but stuff like this. This is a solid oak. This one is unfinished, but solid oak rack, coat hook with shelf. We can ship these, but the problem is shipping from Alaska is pretty expensive. So I hand make these and sell them for a nice profit. And then we also have smaller ones we do here. So this is just a sample. Now the reason I'm showing you these is we actually custom make these to order, but I have a box full of them that we did last year in different sizes, stained in different colors to do some photographs for our website. They've just been sitting around taking up space, and there is a local church that is doing a drive. I don't know what they're raising the money for, to be honest with you, but it's a friend of ours that's in charge of it. So we are taking these to her so they can sell them at the fundraiser. So we're going to donate these and drop them off. But that is one of the things we do. We do woodworking. We do all kinds of things, actually. We do shelving, and we do planters, and we do small pieces of furniture, and it's just kind of a part-time thing. This, I mean, it easily could be a full-time income, but I just don't put that much effort and time into it. I only do it for a few hours a week here and there. I'll put up an ad that I'm available making stuff, and people reach out to me, and usually within that ad being up 3 or 4 days, I have a week or two worth of work. And I'll take the ad down, I'll do that work, and I won't put the ad up sometimes for weeks, sometimes for months, just kind of depends on how busy we are. That is one of the nice things of owning your property and not having a mortgage, not having bills. It's just easier to get by when all you have to do is buy food and pay property taxes. You know, and yeah, we buy gas and stuff like that, but really our living expenses are our total living expenses, including food and the gas we buy and propane and the few other items that we actually have to buy every month, like maybe our cell phone bill. We don't have that many bills living out here. We're off grid, and we have no mortgage, and our property tax is extremely cheap. Our total bills monthly are less than the average mortgage, I believe, in America. I don't know what the average mortgage is, but I'm assuming it's at around $2,500 a month or something like that, I think is what it is. So our average bills every month are less than that. Another thing we do is we do real estate photography and drone work locally. Again, something we don't do a lot of, but maybe a couple times a week we'll get called out. But we are both, Elaine and I are both FAA certified licensed drone pilots. And so we get hired for jobs, and we actually make a lot of money per hour doing that. We don't work a lot of hours, but hourly it pays quite a bit. So just little things like that, and they all add up. So it seems to be a curiosity of a lot of people what we do for a living, so that kind of gives you a little insight to it. And we do plan on expanding our woodworking business eventually and trying to go more full-time with it. That might be a while down the road, because right now we're more concentrated on getting our cabin and our property to the point where we feel like we're 100% comfortable now. We got a lot more work to do, probably another year's worth of work, but eventually we plan on taking that a little bit larger and going more full-time, and maybe even doing smaller projects that we can sell online and ship. So as a matter of fact, in next week's video, I have some projects I'm working on right now for Christmas for my brothers and for some family, and I will show you those, and I'd love some feedback to see if they're worth selling. Like I said, I'm just making them for family as Christmas gifts, but maybe you can give me some feedback and say, hey, that's something cool, you know, that's something that would sell online. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, and laundry, grocery day. This is the day we run to town. Laundries, groceries, anything I might need at Home Depot for the week. We're gonna go do that now. And we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll get that finished up. All right, next thing we're gonna do is put this on. This is a piece of flashing. This goes, yeah, it turned around backwards like this. So it will go, this will attach up to the wall right above this little roof, and then this goes over the roof. And then when we side it, the siding will come over top of this and down, and we'll also put silicone across the back of this, and then use galvanized roofing nails just to kind of tack it into the building. But what this does is this just keeps water from getting down in that seam. It's less important on something like this, because the inside of this is not in the actual interior area, but still you don't want water getting down there and rotting the wood out and stuff. So We need to cut this to length and then run some silicone across the back and then just tack it in up there. So. That is our wall to roof flashing. Against the back of that, the siding will overlap it and come down. So then as any water runs down the wall, it's staying on the outside of that flashing and getting onto the roof and coming down this way, not getting behind it. Now we're just gonna paper this guy real quick. Advertise Home Depot a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to use this router bit to cut our hole out. I have it marked kind of where the edge is. All right. So now we have cut these panels to the size of our doorway minus an inch, because there's going to be a 1/2 inch gap all the way around. We don't want this sealed off because of the generator running in there. So the floorboards have a 3/4 inch gap in them. This will have a 1/2 inch gap all the way around. And then the roof itself has gapping in it where the rafters come into the roof, and then also there'll be a little latch that opens by the exhaust, so hopefully that's enough air through there. But now we're just going to make a little frame. We've cut our pieces already, so we're just going to frame this together and then hang it. And I'm just using screws for this because I might even take this apart someday and redo the doors. I don't know. Do something fancy or some cool barnwood doors or something. Let's see, this will be... Now that'll be the inside of the door. This will be the outside. We've got a couple heavy duty hinges to hinge it to here. Pretty simple. I'm gonna throw that paper on here while I got it laying down. I guess it would just be a lot easier to do now. I got these doors built now, and since they are going to be having a 1/2 inch gap all the way around, we'll just take some of this plywood. It is a 1/2 inch thick, and we'll set one on the bottom, set the door on it, and then put another one here, push the door against it, and then attach our 2 hinges. And then for hardware for opening the door, I'm not going to have a handle on them. I'm just going to have these things. So this will be attached to the door and this on the center. And if you've seen, these are just a standard gate thing that open and close. So, okay, so got these screwed on. That's our hardware for opening these 2 doors. These are just these gravity ones. When you close them, they automatically latch. These are nice. That way I don't actually need a handle on these. I can just use that as the handle. If I decide later I want to put a big handle on them, we can get some kind of decorative handle and put on them, but that'll work for now. Now we just got to put in our little cover here. It's the piece of plywood, a couple of hinges. That's it. And now we got this little guy here. So this one opens and just drops down. That's going to be right here is the exhaust of the generator will be coming right out there. So we'll just open that when that needs to, when that's being used. The reason I put this so that it opens down is because then once it's open, it can't be, it accidentally closed. If it opens up, it could fall, or if it opens to one side or the other, it could be bumped and closed. I just kind of wanted it so it opened down. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to run a power cord from the generator through the wall. That way there's not a cord running outside and around. So it's going to come through the wall somewhere over here. We'll go inside and show you. So this is the other side of the wall here. This right here is a charger that the generator plugs into that charges this whole system. It'll come through the wall right here, and then this will just plug in right there. Set up our hole through this wall. First thing I'm going to do is drill, got a long drill bit. I'm going to drill straight through right here with this one. And then I'm going to take a thicker drill bit that is the thickness of the cord that's going through there and drill that from both sides. And then we're actually going to cut the cord, feed it through, and reassemble it. And the reason we're doing that is because the cord I have is a 50-foot cord. I'm going to turn this into 2 cords. One is going to be the approximately 10-foot section or whatever that we use for here, and will just be left for that generator. And then the other one I will attach. We have some new ends we'll attach to them. And then I'll have another 35 to 40 foot cord left that I can just use for other things. This is a 12 gauge cord, and I couldn't buy this in anything less than 25 foot. So I figured if I'm gonna, 25 foot is way too long for what's out there, so I might as well buy the 50 foot, cut 10 foot out of it, and then still have a 40 foot cord left for other uses around the house. So that's why we're doing that. So I know my studs are here and here. I want to be kind of in between them, so I'm just going to go right here. We got a nice big spot. And when we dress this up, we're using these marine outlet covers that'll go right there. They got a nice foam back on them, so they'll screw in, and we'll drill a hole in this too for the cable and see how that works. But first, we're going to drill all the way through. This is only a 2x4 wall, so I only got to go through about 4.5 inches with all the plywood and everything. So 10 feet is approximately here. Heavy duty cutters. So now I want to feed this through the hole before I put the ends on, because once I put the ends on, it'll never go through those little holes. I'm going to go outside and feed that through. Did it come through? You see it, Jordan?
No, I don't see it.
Okay, I should have known that wasn't going to work. So plan B is we're going to take that long drill bit that we used the first time, and we're going to tape this to it. All right. And now I can push that through the hole and pull it through, and it's not pretty, but I just needed to get it in there. See it now, Jordan?
Yeah, it came through.
Perfect. And now I just realized I forgot to do something. I gotta pull that back out. We need to drill our hole in these and feed that wire through these as well as the wall so that it's, yeah. Okay, so now that is through, and I pushed it all through. We only about a foot of it's coming through, or maybe even less. But I pushed it all through for now so I can work on it, and then we'll pull it back out. Yeah, it's tight, but that's how I want it. All right, so eventually when I pull that cord back out, this will be against the wall there. All right, so this is just some basic wiring. This is easy. Now, while I have all these tools right here, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this extension cord out too. Now we got a brand new 40-foot cord. And all we had to do was buy a couple of cheap end pieces and the cord we need. Let's get back to that. Now that this is done, we can feed all this back outside. We'll go out and mess with that in a bit. But for now, so that's going to be like that. And then we'll just screw that into the wall. But I actually want to do the outside first and make sure that I have everything laid out the way I want it out there. And so the back side of this has a foam because it's actually made for boats, and it's got like a waterproofing foam. And then when we're not running the generator, we'll unplug that, and this will still be stored in the shed so that it's warm. It just runs a lot better when it's staying warm. So anytime it's not in use, we'll keep it inside the heated shed. So now on this side, we just screwed this up to here, and now this wire coming off of the charger is plugged into that cable that's going outside. That'll always stay plugged in, so the only thing I have to do now is worrying about when we're going to run it. I'll just carry it outside, set it there, plug it in, turn it on, and I don't have a cable running from here outside through the door now. So let's turn it on and test it. I mean, we're not testing the generator, I'm just testing that I don't know what I'm testing. I'm just going to turn it on. 100%. One less thing I got to worry about. Now that the shed extension is done, we're going to take the scrap lumber from that and basically just build another version of this. This is just a box that I have housing two propane tanks that hook up to a regulator that go in, feed the propane to our propane stove and oven. It's another one of the projects we built from our woodworking company. That's a planter we built last year. We sold over 100 planters last year, I think. Those are fun to build. They sell like crazy in the springtime. If any of you are curious temperature-wise, it is November 5th. It's late morning, but it is about, what does it say out there, my thermometer? About 28 degrees out. So all the 2x4 of this that we're using will all just be scraps. So this will be the floor of it, and the wood will be laying in it. This is 20 inches wide. I cut most of our wood at 16 inches, so it'll lay nicely this way. And I want to leave the bottom open just so debris and stuff falling out of the bottom of it, not building up in the box. That's fine since it's going to be outside. So I'm just going to lay a bunch of these OSB strips that I ripped down. They're not pretty, but they work. I actually took the time to cut this so that my lines match up. Just throw our hinges on there. And we'll be done. So now when that's open, you can see down here, see our wood will go across this way. Got these big gaps where the dirt and the pieces of bark and stuff that are falling off can fall through easy and not build up in the bottom of there.
Now you've seen how Jay built this, and now we're gonna give you a walkthrough. This is where we stuff all of our yard tools and ladders and our generator here on the side. And
Come over here so they can see better. All right.
And eventually, right over here, we are going to build some hooks in here to hang up our tools so it looks more organized and neat. So it's easier to find what we're looking for the yard tools. You can see right over here the generator, wiring for the generator.
Yep.
And goes all the way inside. Yes, and also right over here on the side.
Here, I'll bring the camera on so they can see.
Right here on the side is another opening area. The exhaust of the generator comes out here. You can see right here, it's also vented or got a lot of gaps here so the air could circulate inside. And as well as the gaps, Jay made a half-inch gap around the door. So this is another way to make the air circulate.
It's hard to see with some of this paper, but there is a full half-inch gap all the way around both doors. And there's also gapping up in the roof. So the way the roof is put on, there's no plywood there. So there is a large 1-inch gap all the way around the roof in between the blocking and the metal. So there's full air circulation. And we don't leave the generator out here. Just when it's running, we put it out here to keep it out of the elements. And then when it's not running, we actually just turned it off before we started shooting the video. Then we put it inside the shed so it stays heated and warmed so that next time we go to use it, it starts right up and we don't have an issue. We only have to run it a couple hours a day. So it's just nice to have it somewhere in the winter where it's just out of the snow and out of the elements.
So now we're taking you to the firewood box.
I'll show.
Voila!
Yep. Sorry, I know the lighting's not very good right now for filming, but this is the time we have to do it.
This is what Jay built for our firewood box.
Yep.
This is by our sliding door.
Yeah, so this is the side that opens, so we can just open it up and reach in and grab pieces of wood.
Yeah, it's easier for us to get firewood.
We don't generally, so like when we start a fire, I'll come up, because the wood shed's just right here. So when I start a fire, I'll generally come out and grab a bundle of wood from there and get the fire started. What this is for more is once we're inside and we're warm and comfortable, if we would just want to throw another log or two on, then we'll just grab them out of here so that we don't have to walk all the way outside just to grab 1 or 2 more logs. If we were going to burn just full time out of this holds probably, I don't know, what, 2 days worth of wood, would you say?
2 to 3.
2 to 3 days worth of wood.
2 to 3 days.
So I mean, if we're being lazy and we don't want to walk 15 feet over to the woodshed, we can grab it out of here, but it's just kind of a convenience thing.
Snow
we
already.
finally got our snow. It actually happened the day after I finished the shed extension in this, so we got everything done just in time. So thanks for joining us this week.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Jordan Wagner from Alaska's Smack.
Alaska's Mac.
Thank you for this amazing, good-looking hat.
Make
Love
sure you
it.
check out Jordan's channel. It's super cool.
Links in the description.
Our next video is going to be about all the improvements and upgrades we did to the diesel heater, so we'll see you soon with that.